letting people tell me I'm too much. Nah, you not enough. That's what it is. You not enough. You not enough. I'm too much too, but you just not enough. That's been my whole career. Yeah, the competition ain't been enough to hold me down.
Mm.
Man, that's
So
that's
adding
exclusive
on to
right
that,
there.
so you did mention you obviously mentioned Kevin McHale. So we
That's how I was gonna go.
interesting
Yeah.
interesting tidbit about that. It was an interview that you were doing before the Big Three, and the interviewer was trying to edge you on. I mean, egg you on it because she asked you about the blackballing. Obviously, looking at your stats, and I don't even think I really realized it, or maybe paid so much attention to it. Is that in your last full year in the league, you did average 14.9 points a game, 15 points a game, 25 minutes a game roughly. And so it doesn't make any sense for someone like that to go from that. I've never seen that before. From that stat line to the next thing you know on Wikipedia, we're seeing you played overseas, or you played with Sacramento for 24 games and then you went overseas. So what was that relationship? Obviously, you ended up saying his name, Kevin McHale. What was that relationship with Kevin McHale while you were playing?
It goes without saying, when you gotta trust the people who bring you in, don't bite the hand that feeds you. So for me, I had to trust my agent to trust the word of the guy who drafted me, that he had my best interest at heart. And it when you young and you start, doing business in the business world, you start to lose sight of exactly like how business actually works, right? And it's not about relationships and trusting people. It's about handling your business, being on your P's and Q's, understanding the language, and not being manipulated by the tongue and how people can put things in word. And so with Kevin McHale, man, trusting the agent, trusting somebody that's a coach, somebody that's trying to make a living, just like me. I think that's the difference when we talk about executives and people in the higher ups and the front offices. They depend on us. Their jobs are dependent on their relationships with us. So if I don't get down and lay down with him and he's in a higher power or authority than me, then it's on my head on the chopping block. I got to do what he say or I'm out of there.
Mm.
And people don't be knowing that. That's the consequence of knowing that as a person that's talented, all of a sudden is not there no more. But you ask the same question with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, you turned down $60 million to go to Africa. Man, what? But see, a normal person don't understand what it's like to be a prodigy and having these decisions you got to make every single day, whether you sell out or keep the path. These opportunities come about every single day. I can sell out, make billions of dollars tomorrow, or I can keep spitting this truth and sit here and talk to the people and relate to the people.
Rashad, did you and Kevin ever have a personal relationship at all? Or was it just strictly player coach? Because we know, guys, you develop those relationships over time. So I'm curious to know if you guys even had a personal relationship.
But that's not even a true sentiment. That's another, you know, worldwide web fun fact.
A worldwide belief. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the coach and all that. Everybody's cool and they all have a relationship with each other. So why the hell did he cut me?
Mm.
That goes back to Antonio Brown. Oh, if we was cool, so we was
Yeah.
cool. Tom Brady's my boy. How did he got Gronk paid? He didn't get me paid.
That's fair statement.
We got to see the world for what it really is, and it's not smoke and mirrors that they've painted for the public to see. Everyone think it's all kumbaya because guys are on the same team and we all rocking together, or just because his name and the title says coach, that
We
he's
know
supposed
that's
to
not
be
true.
the upstanding
Oh
guy.
no, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying? Like you know what I'm
We know
saying? It's
that's
like,
not true.
man, we gotta start painting the narrative that these people are human beings that make mistakes, they say the wrong things, they do the wrong things, they don't always mean well. They can be villains. They're not always the heroes. These are some people who are in position to hurt other people to make sure they don't do good. But we don't see that because we put the position in such a pedestal that our head coach could never. It got to be the player. Got to be the player. Sometimes it ain't the player or the coach. It's the guy that hired him. It's the executive.
Right. I got a question. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that you painted yourself a victim of anything. I don't believe that at all. I do have a question for you personally. All the things that people have said about you and things that have happened in your career, how much do you take upon yourself that maybe it was Rashad's fault?
I don't know what anybody has said about me because I don't pay attention to that. And if anybody listened to anything I said, that my accountability stands full in the front of my book to the end of the book. In every conversation that I've ever had, accountability is always in the forefront because I'm a man. And I know that when you do something wrong, you got to make it right. And that's why I started sports education programs and sports education facilities. I'm not just talking about what needs to be done. I'm doing it. And I don't need to promote it. I don't need to show the people what's being done because it's going to be done. It was written. So when it come down to like, oh, what this person said to me, how should I respond? I respond by saying, what are you doing? What? Okay, if you don't believe in what I'm doing and what I'm about, what are you about? What are you doing? Let's critique you. Let's critique what you about. Who knows you? Let's Google your name and let's find out what you've done in your life. And if it don't match up to mine, we got to figure out who gonna get what consequence. Because you don't, as a man, you don't get to come and go at another man without a consequence of knowing like you stepping over lines, trying to think that okay, man, just because you went through this, it's like I could say this, I could say that. It's like, nah, man, I do this. I've been through this. I'm living this. I ain't just talking this. I'm doing this. And that's what people get twisted about when it comes down to me. Like, it's not about whistleblowing. It's not about telling. It's about your brothers, sisters, kids, nephews are going to go to college and they're going to be put in the same pipeline I was put into. And they're either going to come out idiots or they're going to come out geniuses. The only way they're going to come out geniuses is if they actually get in. And you got to get in by playing a sport. And I'm trying to change that by saying, listen, there's some geniuses out there that don't need to play no sport, still need to get in here and have access. So I'm going to build them facilities so that they do. Because we know that y'all don't care about the kids who can't play no sports. So that's what I'm doing. So anybody talking about, what do you think about man, listen, I'm grown. I'm from a different age. We act. We don't talk.